Do you remember a while ago, we were telling you about this brand new social media platform called Grow, and we were asking if you fancied joining up to it. Well, quite a lot of people have, which is great. We're certainly on it. And we wanted to bring on one of the founders to tell us a little bit more about it. So, welcome back to the show, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing, Gareth, today?
Very well. Now, just tell us. So, we last spoke, it must be nearly 2 months ago now. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
And you just started your campaign with us, and you were telling us all about how this is a new social media initiative, isn't it? In fact, it's on your website and it says reinventing social media. So tell us, because we've heard, of course, about this new one, which Meta have brought out, Thread.
Yes.
How is yours different to the many others out there?
Well, ours is it's a Christian social media for a start, and it's a healthy, positive, wholesome sort of social network, and it's different, I suppose, in the sense that the typical sort of social medias like Instagram, Facebook, Threads, etc., are all quite worldly. You get Christian content on there, you get sort of day-to-day content, but our content is it's I wouldn't say it's predominantly all Christian. It's about people's lives as well. People can share, photos and Bible verses and songs and everything else. But people come on there and they find that they're really refreshed. They're not spending hours just flicking through posts to try and find, meaningful content. They're getting it straight away. You can come on just for 5 minutes and you're going to get something that's going to uplift you and find you, really encouraging. There's loads of people on there who will pray for you, support you, and there's loads of devotionals on there too.
And how do you know that what people will be posting is wholesome?
Well, I mean, you never can be absolutely sure, but 99% of it is pretty decent stuff. We have a moderating team who look through all the content so we can check that everything's fine. But by and large, I mean, I think God's in this as well because I think he allows stuff on there that's going to be helpful for lifting up his people. But yeah, by and large, we get some really good positive content, and people come away feeling, they say this app is really helping me in my daily life.
And a lot of our listeners have been downloading it and using it. There is something about it where it feels like a nice place to be. Does that make sense? Where I log in several times a week and sometimes I'll post, other times I'll just look at what other people are posting. And in the time that we've been on it, which you'll probably be able to check from your end, I don't think I can check from my account when I actually started the account, but the radio station are on it and I'm on it personally. And we've had no bit of negativity at all. All we've had is nice people getting in touch with us and following us.
That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, we're now in over 160 countries, so it's really like the global church. So I think it's a bit different to your standard sort of church or perhaps community that you're part of. You have people from literally all over the world, and by and large, people are really great at supporting. So we have a lot of people who are going through the struggles of life, and they probably wouldn't want to share that on other social medias because they would probably get a lot of hate talk, for them, or tell them to just get on with life. Whereas on Grow, Christians really care. They've got the love of Jesus in them, and they want to help them in any way. So they will write encouraging material. They will pray for them. They will just lift them up. So it is a really special network, I think, in that sense that people they act like the church should act in a community.
And what's the future for this? Because it must be a struggle. I mean, similar to how we are here. Do you know, if we had the budgets of the BBC or these big commercial radio stations, we'd have millions of listeners by now. But we haven't. We have to use what we've got, and it's word of mouth quite often for us and going to events. How are you finding competing with the big guns?
I mean, we're still in our early days, I would say. We've been going a year and a bit, but we're growing month on month. And again, it's just we're fairly high up now in the on the Google Play Store, which is really great. So people are finding us if they're looking for a Christian social app, they find us fairly easily. So we're getting new users each day, which is fantastic. We have obviously big dreams that Grow will go into new directions, and we'll maybe have our own video content in the future, and we can even maybe have some sort of online church that springs out from Grow. So we've got really big ideas of where we want to take it, but it's really where God wants to take it that's the most important thing. And at the moment, He's been very gracious that when we've been setting things up and we've been getting all the security and the privacy and everything all really, up to a very, very high standard. He hasn't showered us with masses of users at that point. We've been able to test things out, get it ready, and now we're just getting to that stage now where we're looking for that bigger growth. So we're looking at the next 5 years and just planning how we're going to do that and really how we're going to fund that, because we are pretty much based on donations. That's what we're surviving on. We don't want to do lots of distracting advertising that is going to pull people away into other things they shouldn't be looking at. We want them to keep them focused on God. So we've very much decided to try and use a similar to perhaps how YouVersion or how the Alpha course works, where it's a donation model, and we've started to get some good funding coming in that way, and we're just hoping to secure the next level of funding that can get us more developers so we can really start ramping up the developments we want to do.
Now, it's a co-creation between you and your son, so this could potentially be more of a question for him.
Yes.
But, I don't know much about servers, but I do know that when we moved into our new office, we've got one computer where everything's on, and then the other office computers, they sort of get the data off that. And at the moment, we've got the main computer, then we've got 3 computers logging into that. And we've been told that actually we may be, at the limit, the capacity of that. So how does something work with your systems where you've got potentially thousands of people who need to fetch data down? Where are they getting it from? What's all this about servers? I'm confused, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, fortunately, Jamie's really good. He's worked in IT for 10 years or so he's very experienced with what's good. And we basically have everything in the cloud. We've got systems there that allow us to grow as we grow. And so we're on a system where it works globally. It's always up and live. It's nicely controlled, and if it goes down, there's a spare backup server. We don't have to worry about those things. Obviously, you have to pay for that privilege, but it does mean that we can really grow. So when we start adding other big features, video, and in a big way, and also having loads more users, we need to be able to have more servers and things, and that's a good way you can just continue to grow. So it takes the headache out of us having to watch that, I think.
So the plan is to make grow, I suppose.
Absolutely, yes, that's what we want to do.
Now, if you do want to use that on your website, I will give it you for free of charge, by the way, that phrase. So if you would like to download the app, which I hope many people hearing this already have, but if you haven't, then the easiest way to make sure that you can get it on the right platform is to simply go to the website, which is grow.faith.co. Nice and easy, grow.faith.co. And on there, you'll be able to find out a bit more about this, and you'll be able to support them as well. They've got a shop where they sell merchandise, and you can contact the team as well if you'd like to, I suppose, really find out more about the heart of it, because that's the interesting thing about this kind of thing, isn't it? Where it's not just a product, there's a real passion and a heart behind it.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, Jamie started this whole journey when he was 19, and he felt that God was calling him to use his gifts. He was just a young software engineer at that point, just an apprentice, and he really wanted to use his gifts for the glory of God. And it obviously took time for that dream to materialize, but yeah, it's all about using his skills for that and developing it. And God's helped him overcome a lot of obstacles, both in his personal life, but also in how to create an app, and actually make it work. There's been some big issues where he's thought, how can I do this? And he's just, we've prayed, and God's given him an answer and a solution within a few hours. So, but it's very much for this next emerging generation. Obviously, it's for everybody, growers, but we're really trying to hit the heart of the sort of under 30s, under 40s, people perhaps who are on the periphery of church and maybe never really had a church life in the past, and they can come to a safe place and really grow with God.
It's all on the website. Head over there and you can get the free app on whatever platform, whether it's the App Store or Google Play. It's growfaith.co. And it's really, honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm the bloke on the radio, because you know me by now. I wouldn't endorse something if I don't think it's any good. So if you download the app now and you can follow the radio station on it, you can give me a little cheeky follow as well. And I think you'll be impressed by the look of it. You have said that it's a cross between, well, in fact, I would chuck in Twitter a bit in there, but you've said Instagram and Facebook, a bit like Twitter as well, isn't it? It's sort of all three of the main platforms in one, but it's a nice place to be.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Jamie's originally modelled it more on Instagram, but it has got elements of all of those platforms. But also, we haven't really talked too much about this, but we've also got a whole load of devotionals on there. So every day we do a daily devotion that's on there, but also there's a whole series of plans on different themes that you can access as well. And that's really good because when you have got time, you can just go in there and do a bit of time with God. So there's 130 plus plans on there. There's more growing every week. So we're constantly adding more things to help Christians along the way.
So I heard an interesting sermon last week, and he was saying, rather than wasting time on social media, get yourself into a Bible reading plan. You have killed two birds with one stone there. You can do
Absolutely.
social media and a biblical reading plan as well. Put that in your pipe, Mr. Rick Warren. Thank you very much, Richard, for your time. And we'll be speaking to you again in the future. But you know something? Download the app. If you go to the website, and it's really easy, this website, it's just growfaith.co. Be sure to download the app. Give me a follow and give the radio station a follow. And you'll be able to see riveting content that I think I posted up the other day, which was me buying something like 35 mint-flavoured twirls from the corner shop for 10p. I mean, where else would you get such interesting posts apart from me on this platform? Thank you, Richard, and you take care, won't you?
Yeah, thank you, Gareth. Have a good one. Cheers.